There you go, Alexis.
Hi guys, welcome to today's Learning Live. We're going to be talking today about the Crafter's Companion die sets. So if you were lucky enough to attend ScrapFest, you would have seen these and got to work with them a little bit. So there are 4 sets that Crafter's Companion has released that we had access to for the event. There are these 2 here. So we have a best birthday set, and here's a sample with this. And what comes in the set, it's 8 pieces. So if we pop this over, you can see what comes in it. So not only do you get the dies, but you also get a sentiment stamp as well. So this one says, "Happy birthday, hope it's the best yet." They also have a "With Love Always" this is a set. So there is your card that we made with the set. And in this set, there's actually 10 pieces. So you get the flower dies, as well as the sentiment that says "Now and Always." Then there is "Many Congrats." So this is 8 pieces. So you get the "Many Congrats," and you get little banners and stars, and then you get a sentiment that says "You did it." And last but not least is the Special Friend set. So this is 12 pieces. So in this set, you actually get some flowers and some butterflies in the dies. And for the sentiment, it says "You're loved." So these are all in the store. I believe right now they're still on for $15 for a limited time. And today we're going to be working with the Many Congrats. And I'm going to show you a quick something with the Special Friend. So I am going to grab my cutter and move this out of the way, and we will get crafting. And don't forget, if you have any questions, Darlene is moderating. So just pop them up in the comments and she will float them to me. Okay, so what I did for this set, for the Many Congrats, I wanted to do it sort of baby themed because apparently everybody I know is having babies. So I went with more of a girl theme. So I picked some paper I had from, I think, Craft that sort of went with the theme that I wanted to do. So what I did is I cut a background piece out of a solid cardstock. Okay, and then I'm going to put my, sorry, let me just grab that. We are going to do similar to what they've done on here. So I'm just pulling this up so I can show you guys. So the green is going to be the many, many, many. And then I wanted the flowers to poke through. So I went with a smaller pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down my green and my flowers. So I'm doing an A2 card. And when I do it 3/16 of an inch smaller each time. So I start with the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and go 3/8 smaller each time. So I'm just going to do that off camera so you guys don't have to see my crazy measurements. Corner. Okay. So there is my flowers and then my green. Okay. So basically my green is going to cover it. So all you're going to see is the pink, and then the flowers are going to poke through. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the die because it's really neat. Okay, so I did pull some washi for this. Okay. So when you get the die set, The mini or the special from the sets, they come as one piece with all the individual letters already pre-spaced for you. So you can use the silhouette or the actual letters. So you're getting basically two options with the one die, which is really neat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to center this. And I like to center using the guides on the grid lines on my Papercrafter's work pad. Thank you. Sorry. Just getting over being sick, so you have to forgive me. Sometimes I get a little brain fog. Okay. So just a tiny little bit of washi tape to hold that down. So I've done the center piece first. Okay. And then I'm going to do one above it and one below it. So you're going to grab your plates or whatever you're using to run the die through. And put your sandwich together. And then you're going to roll that on through. Perfect. So then you're going to take that out. And then you're going to pop it off. Now, if you want it to be really precise, you could get a pencil and just kind of mark the corner of the die. I'll give you a guide for the next placement. So I'm just pulling off my washi very carefully and popping that up. Okay. Now I'm just going to grab my pin here from my glue and pop out the letter. So then I can use this on a different card later and just actually use the letters. So I'm just going to keep them all together because I just want the silhouette part on our actual card base. Okay, so there are my extra letters. So I'm just going to put those out of the way so I don't lose them. And then we're going to place our die again. Wait, make sure it's the right way first. Okay, and then I'm going to put it right above. I'm going to run it through again, and I'm using my pencil placements to keep me sort of in line so there's no craziness going on there. Okay. Whew. Does anybody have any questions about the set so far?
No questions. It looks like everyone's just watching what you're doing.
Well, I mean, you all know what I mean. All right.
We can't wait to see what you're making.
Yeah. So there's my two minis. And then I'm going to pop letters out. This is the part that takes the longest, is the popping out. All right, and then we're going to put one more down below. And again, get that centered as much as possible using those guides. Now we're going to run that through one last time. All right, so there's the many, many, many. And then I've just got to pop, actually I can put that up there for now because I don't need that. Okay. So we're going to put our first layer together. So I'm just going to move the, apparently my pin doesn't want to go back in my glue. I'm just going to move my scissors just out of the way for a moment until I get to the next stage. Okay. So what we want to do now is glue the layers down. So I'm taking this because it's smaller than our green, and I'm going to glue that on there behind. So I'm going to take my liquid glue, just because it's a little easier to work with, especially with all the little pieces. Now, I have a little, I brought some dark cardstock so you guys could see this just a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is you make sure you have to get all the little pieces. So like the parts in the middle of the A, the M's, the N's, and the Y's. You want to make sure you put glue in there. That was the biggest thing I found that people forgot. They would glue around the edges, but then these would pop up. So you just want to make sure you put, and of course you're going to be problems already today. We're going to switch to my Barely Art glue instead. I have a backup upon backup here today. Now remember the white glues, they will turn clear. So if you get a little bit smushing out from the edges, that's okay. Okay. So then we are going to put our flower paper down and make sure you get the pattern the right way. And then you're going to pop that down. And I'm just going to flip that over. Perfect. All right. So then I'm just going to lift this up so you guys can see it. And I'm just going to grab my scissors. Okay. So now we have the cute little flower sort of poking in behind, and you can kind of see that poking through, which is really cute. Okay, so then the next step is to cut out the extra little bits. So I'm just going to trim my sides here because I'm running on my last few blades for my cutter and I haven't gotten a new one yet. Okay. All right, so the next part is, this is going to go on here, and I'm going out of the pink, I'm going to cut the congrats. So, where is my, okay. So we use the many. The next one is the congrats. And I have a pink one here. Okay. And then I'm just going to washi that down. Now you can even double layer this if you want. So if you really want it to pop, you could always use a different color. I wonder actually if I have a darker green. Problem with this pack, it's only got a certain number. No, but I think I would. Okay. So we're going to cut it out in pink, and I think I've got a gold here. Ooh, I've got this brush gold. So I'm going to double layer it with the brush gold underneath. So I'm going to grab my scissors again. Now the benefit with this too is you can cut a bunch of these out if you're going to a crop before you get there if you wanted, and then just kind of have fun putting things together. But if you're like me and you like to fly by the seat of your pants sometimes, bringing a bunch of cardstock with you is always a good idea. So I've done one pink congrats. So I'm just going to pop that out. Boop. Nice and clean. Again, why we love the Spellbinder so much. Or Crafter's Companion, sorry. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm just popping that out of the die. Okay. Now, so do any of you guys already have these die sets? Okay. Here's the first one. All right. And now we're going to cut a little piece off. Ooh, the brush gold. Normally I would use my cutter, but I just use my scissors. Okay, so we're going to cut that out. So we're going to put the brush gold through again. And I'm also going to cut out some stars from this as well. Because it's such a pretty color. So it just takes a little finessing to get that out. Okay. Again, nice and smooth to come out. And I do have some center pieces that I need to dig out here. They always like to stick in there, don't they? Boop. All right, now we'll cut out some stars out of the gold. So for the stars, I feel like I don't need the washi. So in the one set, you get 4 different sizes, so we might as well cut out all 4. And you know what? We might as well do a banner too, because that banner is really pretty. So I'm going to try and use up every little available space I have. And this is the banner. Okay, and I'm just going to pop that through when I find my top plate. Okay, so now we've done every single one of the dies that you get in the set. We've cut them at least once. If we wanted to go crazy, we could do another one of the flag set, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to try and go kind of with what they've done there on the actual package. So stars were good. Banner were good. So I'm going to cut one more banner. Come on. My plates have definitely seen a lot of love. Let's see if I can fit this other banner on here, or if I'm going to have to. Nope, we're good. As long as I don't play too much with it. Okay. Okay. Slip that through very carefully. Okay. Now it's time to assemble the card. Okay, so I'm just going to get this back out of our way. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my card base again. Okay, so we're going to adhere the many, many, many onto my card base. I've just got my easy runner here. I am an adhesive junkie, as you can probably tell. I'm also just going to trim the one side of that. Okay. All right. So when we look at the example that's on the front of this, and again, too, you can have fun playing with it. There's so many different ideas you can do with it. But what I wanted to do is double layer the gold and the pink. So again, you're going to need your wet glue for this. So I'm just popping out the little middles. Or do we want to put the gold and then the pink? What do you guys think? Do you think we should do the gold first? Or do you think the gold should be behind the pink? I'll show you that in a second. All right, so here's the pink. Sort of on top of the gold, like that. Or do you guys want to try it the other way? Which looks like this. Now, take into account, though, we do have all the banners in gold as well.
Alexis, Sherry says gold as a shadow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so let's do that. And it's nice to hear Sherry's back.
Yeah, she just got back.
Oh, poor thing. That's a long, long flight and getting back, but all safe and sound now. All right, so I'm just going to add my wet glue onto my pink, which is going to be my foreground. And again, we're going to put that on top of the gold. Just make sure I have a little bit of glue everywhere so it sticks down. Okay, and tweezers would be good for this part, which I also have right here. Now, I also don't have my glasses on. So if you have glasses, this would be a good time to pull them out and use them. Okay. I think I got it on pretty good. Looks good to me. Okay, I'll lift this up so you guys can see it because it looks pretty cool. So you get that nice kind of gold background. Okay. All right, so let's grab our card base and get that on, because then all that we have left to do is the little embellishments, which is the fun part. So we're going to adhere the back of the card on. Again, I'm just going to use my easy runner. Whatever you want to use for yours, by all means. And if you just run over, you just fold her. All right, so let's put our card front on. Stick that down. Okay, so we have in our embellishments 2 little flags. So they have it going from here to the end. I think I'm going to put it underneath like that. Then they have it going to the A, sort of here. Okay, and I like to just kind of play with it a little bit to see if I actually like where I want to put certain elements. So I've already changed it up a little bit here with the placement of some of the stars. And then we put our congrats along the center. So then all we have to do now is basically adhere it all together using our liquid glue. Now, at this point, you can also pop dot things if you prefer to do that as well. For sake of ease, I'm just going to wet glue them all down. So I'm just going to grab my wet glue. And I'm going to start obviously with the main title. I'm going to get all my little bits down. Okay. Always pin in the glue. Don't forget, pin in the glue, not in your finger. Okay. Okay, and then that goes down. Now I got these little pieces of gold piece after from the gold. I'm just going to pull them off. Okay, and just make sure that that is soundly snug. Okay, then we are going to wet glue the banner. Okay, so banner number 1. Okay, I'm going to grab the other banner. Okay. And then that banner, I'm just going to turn the card a little bit on its side because it's a little easier to maneuver this one here. So we're going to have it come to the A. There we go. Okay. And then we have the stars. And then my tiny little star. Now, I believe too, if you do go into the store, I borrowed some samples from the board, but we do have a board with other samples of other cards made with these. So you can always check that out with other cards. And you can also use this on scrapbooking layouts too. It's pretty versatile because they're dies. You can kind of have a lot of fun with them. So there is our somewhat of a birthday or baby card with the gold and the little flowers. And then, of course, it wouldn't be one of my cards if I didn't do the inside. So I am going to decorate the inside, and I can post that in the group. And what's going to be more visible on the inside is actually going to be the flower paper. So we have a little sneak peek here, but what's going to be prominent on the inside will be the flower paper. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more card with the special fun set. And I have that. Where did it go? There you are. Okay, so this one's nice and easy, which I love too. So this set here comes with the special friend, with some butterflies and flowers, and a stamp, which I believe is in here. Paper cutted myself at work on Monday and it's hurting. So it comes on the acetate like normal stamp. So just make sure when you open these up, you do not lose these, okay? Because it just comes out. You can even do a little bit of double-sided tape down here if you want to stick it down so you don't lose it. But we're just going to do this one as a special friend card. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut out the friend out of the base of the card, and we're going to use the actual letters. So I had some. I wanted to do a wedding card. So I have this just married set here with some navies and some pinks. And this is Echo Park. So okay. So we're gonna have some more fun with the brush gold, because who doesn't love brush gold? Okay. So this is the card that's the fly by the seat of my pants, but I have an idea in my head. So what I'm going to do, my card is going to be an A2 like we just did. So we're going to cut the gold, and we're going to make it the 3/8 of an inch smaller than an A2 card. Okay, so there is our base. Save the gold. We still need the gold. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut our pattern paper, and I chose this one. So I'm cutting this one down. A brain fart now. Apparently I'm having a lot of problem here today. Yeah, okay. Cut that one a little bit too big. So that. Oh, it didn't. Oh, my paper's crooked. That's why. I was wondering why it wasn't fitting properly. There we go. That makes much more sense. Hey, don't we all have days like that? Oy. All right, so. Okay. There we go. That makes much more sense. Perfect. Okay. So now what we got to do is cut friend out of the pattern paper. And we're going to, I'm going to do my card, I think, this way. And have, okay, apparently this doesn't want to come off either. There we go. Perfect. And I think, just taking, oof. Yeah, I'm going to put it about there. All right, washi tape. Oops. Okay. So we're just going to run this through the cutter. Okay. And then also going to cut out. All right, so just make sure you keep the insides of the word, because we're going to need that to make the front. So there's that. And don't forget the little bits because we need those too. Okay. So I'm just going to put that off to the side for a second. And then out of the gold, I'm going to cut special. Now, I think there's also some flowers. Or should I cut? No, let's cut the butterfly out because I think that would look really cool. Now we're just going to throw this through. I'm getting a little hot. Okay, so we want to make sure that our letters came out properly and our butterflies. So we're going to pop those off. Just getting from my tweezers here. All right, so we're going to put special up there. So we're just going to pop out the rest of the letters. Okay, and we're going to pop out our butterfly. And I'm just going to do it off camera really quick, but I'm popping out all the middle pieces. I just want to do it over my garbage so I don't get them everywhere. There's quite a few little bits. All right. Oh, I've got one little pop that won't pop. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So that is about all we need for this card. So let's assemble it together. Okay. So we have our card base and we have our gold. So we're going to put that down first. And then we are going to just put this here. Make sure I got those extra 3 little pieces. There we go. Don't lose them because we're going to need them. So we're going to pop out our, oh, you best not be ripping on me there. Pop out our die. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it kind of looks a little funny right now, but we're going to glue that on. Again, just make sure you get the center pieces too. Okay. And we're going to place that down on the gold. And we're going to center that. making sure all our little bits stick. Okay, now here comes the fun part. And I say fun, but we all know what I mean, the tedious part. Okay, so I'm just wiping all the extra little glue off. Oh, see, I even forgot one. There we go. Okay, so we are going to pop our little pieces out. And we're going to fit this back in here. It's not going to stay. This is just as a guide to tell us where our little bits go. Okay, so we have the part at the bottom of the F. And again, tweezers are good to have for this part here. So we put this here. Okay, and then we have our top of our F, which I think is this one here. Yeah, just add a little bit of glue to that. And then pop this one in. Okay, and then we have the little thing at R, which has a lot of pink in it. Which I'm pretty sure is this one here. It's like putting a jigsaw puzzle back together again. Hope you guys are good at that.
That's so funny you say that, Alexis. Sherry said the same thing in the comments.
Oh, yeah. What's nice about this is they really aren't a uniform shape, so it is fairly easy to pick out what goes where. It's just when you have a lot of little bits that are almost all the same size, that's when it gets a little crazy. But this is actually pretty good because they're all pretty different. You just got to get the right placement down. Oh, I'm going to flip this one around. And into the D you go. And then last but not least, the big part of the D. And then we're done, and then we get to stick down there. And then we get to peel to reveal. There we go. So again, just very carefully lifting up the friend so you don't disturb any of those pieces we've just laid down. You want to make sure that they stay in the right sections. Sometimes you have to do a little sticky. Stick it down there while you're peeling. Yeah. Sometimes they don't want to give. So stay and stay. We have to fix the R. Well, maybe the F. Oh, okay. Let's just stick to itself. There we go. There we go. Now, we already have a bit of the glue residue down, so that will also tell you where to go with it. And sometimes it just likes to stick to the guide. And there we go. Okay. Whew. It's more like a fiend than a friend. Just kidding. Okay.
That's beautiful. That pop of gold is really nice.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to have a little bit underneath, too.
Yeah.
Of the special in gold, too. Don't forget. And we've got that really pretty butterfly. Okay, so I'm going to grab a piece of longer paper, and I'm going to sort of mark out, make sure I'm somewhat even with where I want my special to go. All right, and then I'm just, oh, maybe actually I want to place it up here. Now, just be wary when you're doing this, the P, it's 2 pieces, guys. Tweezers. I have 0. Apparently my crafting skills tonight are 0 to 0. All right, stay. Whatever, we're gonna go with that. It's not gonna stay like that. This is just giving us an idea. And this way we can move it over just a little bit if we want, which I think I will end up doing because I don't want the L to be on top of the F or D. And then we will put the little butterfly down there. And then our card will be done. So let's just get to sticking. I think I might just move this just over a teensy little bit and up a little. I have like the worst hand gestures tonight, man. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are going to flip the L over and we are going to start with that. Okay. Okay, here's our L.
So Alexis, as you're gluing that down, just something if someone wants to have it all lined up properly, they could do something with the negative piece too, like what you did earlier,
Yep.
and just glue in those spaces if someone really wants it to be accurate. So that's another way you could do it.
Yep.
But freehand is always faster.
Definitely. Now, the other thing you can do too is you can use your centering rule and just put a little piece of washi tape on it, set them all down on top of the washi tape on your ruler, and then you can put them down that way. Sort of like how what we do with thickers. I don't know if you guys have seen that trick, but you put the thickers on the ruler and then you use them to put them down. So you would glue like the top half of the letters, put them down, peel them off, and then glue the bottom half. That's also an option as well.
That's a great tip.
Now, by not using the guide, this also allows me to put them a little closer too. But if you do want that exact spacing, you're more than welcome to use the guide. All right. Okay, I got 2 more letters to glue down. And I'm going to show you a really cool trick with the butterfly. Now, because we're not adding a lot of embellishments to this card, because I really did want the paper to kind of do the speaking on this, you can add a little bit of movement in the card. So, for example, with this butterfly, if you could also double layer it with some vellum underneath, so cut it out again with the vellum and double layer it. But if you just kind of pop the wings up just a little bit, you can also kind of change the looks of the wings too, by just giving it a little bit of a tweak with the movement. And then we add just a little bit of glue to the center. Center only. And then we just and there we go. So it just adds a little more of dimension to the card, because really we do want the paper and the gold to speak for the card on this. But then that just gives a little bit of movement to the butterfly to give it that 3D pop. I'll just show you from the back end. It just pops up just enough that it gives it a bit of movement. All right, so I'll just show you again the dies. So again, we'll just go over what you get in them too. It is a great deal for the price point, because you do get so much in them that you can use, because not only do you get the dies, you get the stamps as well. So let me just pull those back over. All right, so we have the mini congrats. And again, you get the dies and the stamp set on that one. And that was the card we just made with it. And we also did just these 2 samples. So if you want to go with like something grad style, or, you know, maybe mini congrats on your retirement or a new home, like there's so many things that you can congratulate people on. We have the With Love set, again, 10 pieces. There's the dies that you get with the stamp set. And then that is a sample of the card. And again, with that double layering, which is really fun. And then we have the Happy Birthday set. Again, this is 8 pieces. You get the dies as well as that stamp set. And then here's an example of the card that they made with it. Again, the double layering, that's always fun to do. And then I have the special friend set. Here we go. And then this is the one we just used. So this also comes with flowers and other butterflies as well, not just the one that we cut out. So you get the dies as well as the sentiment. And again, that was the card we just did with it. So using the positive and negative spaces of both the dies, again, it gives you a different look. And that is today's Learning Live.
Well, thank you, Alexis. That was beautiful cards that you made. And the nice thing about these dies, they're very versatile and they're interchangeable. So you can mix it up like happy birthday friend. Like the words can go mix and match. So once again, these 4 die sets are on sale for $15 while quantities last and for a few days only. So take up the chance. And there is some other goodies that we've added into our deals there that you can find on our website. So once again, you can find our website at papercraftersworkshop.ca. I'm trying to find. There you go. And thank you so much, Alexis, for showing us those cards and the beautiful prototypes that you also have there. And thank you, friends, for joining us this evening. And thanks for having me on in place of Sherry. This was fun to be on the opposite end. And don't forget to join us tomorrow for What's New. We have some new goodies to show. And if you haven't seen our posts that Matt posted earlier today, Spellbinders came out with a new machine. So tune in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for What's New in the same place right over here. Have a great night, everyone. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.